So hello viewers and welcome back to another video on Video Geeks. So if you remember in last video we have seen the artillery setup with the playwright. So in that video we have seen that how we can integrate artillery and playwright both into a single unified testing methodologies you can say. So in this video we'll take a look at how we can set up GitHub workflows that triggers both playwright and artillery tests. So artillery test will be performed in another job, that will test the results for that test will be that will be able to observe from the dashboard that is provided by app.artillery.io, and playwright will also perform certain tests to test that how our application is working, if it is functionally performing well, if the UI is visible properly or not. Whereas with artillery will verify that how well our backend servers are handling the loads. So let's see how to set up both of those workflows without wasting much time. So this is my Playwright YouTube learning repository. I'll have a link of this repository in the description box, so you can just go and watch from there. So for this video, I haven't added any lesson 6.md file, but I'll add soon in the future, or I might skip that because this will probably be the last video in the basic introduction part for the playwright and artillery. So if you remember in the last video, we have added this file, although the name was loadtest.yaml file, where we didn't had any face descriptions. But we now know that why we need these config target engines and scenarios, right? So I hope you have watched that video. If you are not familiar with how to set up how to do initial setup for the artillery and playwright, I'll have a link of that video over here in the I button, or you can just go and fetch the link from the description box. So this is just the next video from that video, so you can just go and watch the last video on our Video Geeks channel. Now coming on to the main topic. So we have edited the file, and we have added the face descriptions. So as you can see, we have three phases: warm-up phase, which includes arrival rate of 1, and it will ramp up to 5 users, and the duration is 60. The second phase is ramp up load, whereas you can see the arrival rate is 5, it will ramp up to 10 within 60 seconds. And the last phase is spike phase, and you can see the arrival rate is 10 and it will ramp up to 30 within 30 seconds. So that's how we have kept the whatever description that you can face description. According to this, the virtual users or the threads will be created. We will be using this file, and as you can see, this is nothing but the homepage validation file. This will be executed for each virtual users that will be created using this file. Now under the GitHub/workflows folder, we have two files. One which is playwright.yaml file that we have used for spinning up the virtual machine that will perform a playwright job, and it is nothing but the command which is called npx playwright test. So it will just perform all the tests that are written over here in the test folder, right? And if there are any artifacts, reports, failures, that will be stored or given as artifacts, as you can see over here. Now with that, we have also the second file which is called loadtest.yaml. So this is that file, and this is the same file that we have used to set up the artillery CI/CD pipeline or GitHub Actions that we have seen on our video on Video Geeks YouTube channel only. And that video also I'll have a link over here in the I button. So if you have not watched that video which covers the setup of CI/CD pipeline, or you can say GitHub Actions with the artillery, so you just go and watch that, and you will get to know that how to write these files. Now we have this file, and as you can see, we will run this command artillery run loadtest.yaml, which is this. Sorry, load test. We'll need to change the name. Artillery, ERTILLERY, artillery -test.yaml, and the output will be stored inside reports.json, and the name for this will be for the test. The name of the test will be test from YouTube with playwright, and it will be recorded with the API key. So we have this API key not stored here in our local machine, but we need to make sure. So this is our repository, Playwright YouTube Learning repository. So from the settings, you need to make sure that you go to secrets, actions, and you make sure that you need to keep this repository secrets like this. So whatever key that is mentioned over here, you can just go and uh, fetch the API key from here. Yeah, one of this API key, you can create a new API key. You grab that API key and you keep the key store over here, and whatever the name that you keep, you need to make sure that name is properly stored or given over here. And if there are certain artifacts, they will be uh, stored or given us as after the workflow ends. Now let us just commit this file and let us see how the workflow is looking, how the results are looking. So I'll just commit this file and we'll see how the actions are being executed on GitHub. So let's see that. So as you can see, we made a commit and the two new workflows are started. So this one is a playwright test, and this workflow will test a functionality part of the of our application. So this will be like functional testing and your validations. And if you go one step behind, okay, sorry, this is same file playwright tests. Okay, I think we need to go over here, and as you can see, the test for from YouTube with playwright that has been started. So execution of that test has been started. So artillery has already started its execution. I guess we can go and, is this the workflow? Let me see that. It says some failures are there. So apparently there were few errors in the, or not errors, there were few configurations in the artillery test.yaml file that we have created for the workflow. So I fixed all those errors, all those misconfigurations, and now you can see we have these two workflows running. One is playwright test and one is artillery playwright test. So as you can see, this is nothing but the test that tests the playwright. So it installs the playwright and it tests the functionality in UI part of the test. And this is artillery test. So artillery test is running, and you can live see the test. So as you can see, this is the configuration, and as we have that API key mentioned over there in the GitHub secrets, GitHub Actions secrets. So as you can see, this is the live dashboard for the test that is happening. You can see the metrics, right? You can see warm up phase, ramp up phase that we have mentioned over here in the artillery test.yaml file, warm up, ramp up, and spike. So as you can see, ramp up phase is going on, and soon there will be a spike phase. So we will wait for the test to complete, and I will show you how the dashboard of this is looking, and we'll also observe this GitHub Actions. So we'll see you after the test is completed. So as you can see, the test has been completed. We can see the dashboard over here on the app.artillery.io. So as you can see, we can see all these details, and we can see 39 failures and other rest of the things are passed. Total this many virtual users were created during these three phases: warm up, ramp up, and spike. And as you can see, the virtual users creation has the phases are finished over here, and this rest of the things that you see after the spike phase, that is virtual users for whom the execution was still left after the phase was completed. You can observe all the metrics over here. These are very beautiful figures if you want to explore all the details. And if you go to overview, yeah, you will have errors, timeout exceeded, because we are throwing load on the single page only. You can see the GitHub Actions. You can see these last two actions, right? You can see this is the playwright actions, GitHub Actions. It has these artifacts, and if you want to see the detailed logs, you can just click over here and you can just expand any one of these, and you can see what were the logs that were captured. You can also do the same for the artillery playwright test. You can see here, you can see artillery test, and you can see all the logs over here. You can also see those logs from over here, I guess. Okay, let me see. Metrics traces. Okay, I don't think we show the logs over here. Oh, okay, so this is the way to see the logs over here, right? And you can see all those logs from here also and from here also. So yeah, that's it for this video. I guess we have seen that how we can integrate Playwright and Artillery, and we can how set up two workflows so they can run simultaneously on the GitHub, and you can do that for similarly for the GitHub or GitLab CI/CD pipeline, where you'll have all the workflows definition over here, and then they will be executed just the way they executed right now. So I hope you have got the idea about these two, Playwright and Artillery, and I hope you will integrate these two in your testing workflows. And I hope that your applications are tested with very utmost precision, and you will utilize this tool with utmost precision that you want. And with that, we'll wrap up this video, and we'll meet you in the next one. Till then, keep learning and keep exploring.